Dsrc licensing component.
All right. Thank you, Brian. And good afternoon, everyone. My name is Yan Tao. I'm from the city of Madison, Wisconsin. I'm going to talk a little bit more about the Dsrc licensing, using Madison's experience as an example. A little bit background information. So I have been leading a project at the city here, which is called the Smart City Initiative. And we're working with University of Wisconsin-Madison and a consortium of other public and private entities in the area to envision a next generation people and a data-centered transportation system for Madison. We developed a plan called Building a Smart Madison for Shared Prosperity. One of the projects that identified by the plan is the Smart Park Street Corridor project. It's our answer to the SPY challenge, and it's Wisconsin's first connected vehicle infrastructure. It's a major corridor connecting downtown Madison and also UW-Madison campus with the only freeway that we have. It serves a lot of regional medical facilities, special events venues, schools, community centers, transit hubs, and fire stations. So it's a heavily used. It's also a heavily used transit corridor for some of our low-income residents living in the area. So we are pilot and deploy connected vehicle technology project to improve transporting safety, mobility, bus on-time performance, and also transporting equity. Together, we have 26 Dsrc locations identified in the project, and so far we have 5 locations implemented. We are developing V2I, V2V, and V2X applications right now. We would like to establish Madison and Wisconsin as the upper Midwest hub for CV and AV. A little bit about the Dsrc. It's part of the Intelligent Transportation System Radio Service Communication Frequency Band, normally referred to as 5.9 gigahertz band, as defined by Code of Federal Regulation 47, Parts 90 and 95, also by FCC Rules Part 90, Subpart M. One thing that people have to keep in mind is that this band is shared with some other users, such as some federal users authorized by the National Telecommunications and Information Administration, and also some commercial satellite operators. Luckily, these users are mostly in the remote areas of the country, but if you're working in a suburban environment or a rural environment, sometimes you have to deal with interference from these users. Before you deploy Dsrc, agencies are required to know their responsibilities. You have to review the FCC service rules, regulations, and technical requirements. And you have to plan your deployment in a way that makes most sense. And there's a lot of licensing administration that's involved. And you have to coordinate with other users to reduce interference. And there's a lot of ongoing management commitment to it, such as to add new units, to delete the units that you no longer use, and also to coordinate with new users who are installing new equipment in your area. There are 3 main steps for the Dsrc licensing. The first step is the FCC registration number. The second step is the non-exclusive geographic area license, which Rod and Brian kind of talked a little bit about and referred to as a blanket license. The third step is individual roadside unit registration. We recommend you plan for 3 months to go through all the 3 steps. But definitely, the more time you have, the better chance you can make sure your project is on schedule. You have to go to the FCC's query system to get a registration number. It's also called the Commission registration system. Basically, you go there to provide agency information and to get approval for login information. Once you have that, you can go ahead to move on to the second step. But it's a good idea to check whether someone within your agency may already have something called the radio frequency correlators. If they do, chances are that there's already a registration number around that you may be able to use. So actually, they'll maintain a list of radio frequency correlators, so that's a good reference. Also, FCC has a list of existing FR numbers and contacts. So for Madison, we kind of skip that process because we, as a traffic engineering agency, we maintain the city's 911 radio communication system, so we have been well involved in that already. So we have to skip that part. Second step is called the non-inclusive geographic area license, which is based on the public or the private entity's legal area of operations. And you have access to all channels in the 5.9 gigahertz band. It's typically granted for 10 years, and it may be renewed. For public entities, typically you apply under the IQ radio services. That's kind of the code for public safety ITS component. For private or commercial entities, you typically do that through the QQ radio service, which is a non-public component of it. The form needed is the FCC Form 601 and the Schedule D16. It can also be handled on the website, the Universal Licensing System online. The third step is the individual RC registration. A separate application is required for each roadside unit, but you can do batch applications. You can do multiple sites with one application, but you have to provide information for each location, including make and model, serial number, antennas, latitude, longitude, height, what kind of support infrastructures that you have. The form to do that is the Form 601 and the Schedule M to register. And also, to certify construction, you need a Schedule K. Again, it can be handled by the online system. For that process, it takes about a month or so, but sometimes you get it sooner or later. Actually, I was wrong on that. So the geographic area license typically takes about a month. Actually, the individual registration for RCU, that's actually pretty quickly. Sometimes we heard that if you do electronically, you can get an answer within the same business day. So apologies for that. Also, some ongoing considerations for Dsrc deployment. You have to file a notice of construction within a year after you got the registration. Otherwise, it will be placed on termination pending status. When that happens, a licensee has to file a petition for reconstruction in a timely manner. Otherwise, it may be terminated. Also, inactive license or site registration will be discontinued in a year. And it's your responsibility to delete that record from the database. That's all I have. Some quick references. The first one is the Federal Highway Administration Connected Vehicle Environment Guide. The second one is the NACO Dsrc licensing guide. That's a pretty short and sweet document that has a lot of good information. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Yang.